Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Shit Happens, where shit always happens. And today has been a good day. Today has been a day that I've hanged out with my pod farm and a lot of amazing announcements and a lot of ideas for future stuff. And I got to see my boy today. My boy visited me, was away for a while, and he brings me Red Bull every time he comes. So it has been a good day, and I'm about to end it perfectly with my guys. This guest of mine who I have, believe it or not, we met online while he was hosting something that we're going to talk about. But from then, he really has been. We don't talk as much, but the support has always been there. Like when I talk about people supporting you and your shit, he is one of those guys that literally supports you and your shit. Like every now and then I find him just posting my shit and sharing and you don't even have to ask. So I have incredible love for this person. And I got to meet him this year face to face. Airport Fest, and the energy was on 100. We had some fun. We hanged out and it was just bliss. And that's what I was expecting. Like I already knew it was a cool card because his podcast also has the word shit in it. Like so I already knew like we come from the same level, so it did not disappoint. Allow me to bring on Mr. DC, aka Darius Chambers on the stage. Hey Darius,
I,
welcome to Shit Happens.
I thought I was gonna have a few more seconds to kind of like, I'm here. What the business is? What it be like, people? I'm DC, host of What the Good podcast. Your grandma's favorite podcast, the only podcast you can still get on the Nextel pager and a two-way.
I love that. And it's so funny how you say your grandmother's favorite podcast, and then Adam has your mama subscribes to my shit. Isn't it?
Yeah, we do real good with sugar mamas and the cougars, the mountain lions actually, because the cougars is 45. So if you're a cougar, you about 36 to 45. Mountain lions is 46 to everything else until you die. So mountain lions really love us.
So a cougar is from 36.
My definition, well, it depends. So if you got kids and it's a long, I got issues. So my math don't be right. I went to school in Akron, Ohio, so forgive me if it's a 36-year-old right now, like, nigga, I ain't no cougar. You might
Cause,
be.
cause, cause like I'm gonna be 35 this year. So does that mean next year
Oh,
I reach my cougar status?
so right now you're a baby cub. Right now you're a baby cub. You're on the verge of maybe potentially getting some cougarism in you. And then once you hit like 37, it's full blown. And after 40, it's on the prowl for looking for young tender meats out in the clubs. Your son's age, your son is 18. So yeah.
But it's funny you say that. I don't know if I will have that level where I'm old and looking at younger guys because right now I don't even look at younger guys. I look at older guys. So I don't know if that will actually
You're
switch.
you're a reverse cougar. What's wrong with that?
Like I date like my exes are in the 40s. Like my recent ex 47, then I had one 49. Like I legit date in the 40s. Like if
Oh,
you're in your 30s, you really have to have something to really make me be like, okay, I can fuck with you even though you're in your 30s.
I feel it, ain't nothing wrong with it. Hey, whatever people like, I ain't here to judge. I'm the last person that need to be judging anybody on anything. And if you like it, I love it. As long as people's happy, that's what really counts. I don't really get into because people like, oh, that's because in reverse it for guys. Well, I guess that is kind of creepy, but I had to think about it. I was gonna say something, but then I had to think about it. Like, nah, nigga, that's the last thing you want to do is have that. So
But it's funny because right now I'm legit crashing and talking to somebody who's 2 years younger than me, which never happened. So so shit does change. Maybe when I do get in my 40s, I'll be looking at the 20-year-old.
it's the
That
mindset.
sounds so
Mindset
wrong.
thing.
That sounds so wrong. But imagine being in your 40s looking at 20-year-olds. Like,
I've seen people do it. guys, people out here. So I mean,
And I recently rewatched the OC, and there was that phase where these rich women were now dating these younger guys from the dating site, or like a sex thing, like, and they were so happy because everybody was wondering, like, oh my god, they look happy, and shit was like, oh, it's the younger men effect. I'm like, okay. So I understand why older women will go to the younger men, especially when life feels like, oh my God, I'm drained. Like the young, now I'm really feeling alive. I need a younger guy to
young
keep
again.
me alive.
All it is, just feeling young again. Everybody wants to turn back the clock, and sometimes people find different ways to do it. Some people drink, some people smoke, some people, have sex with
and,
people younger than them.
and some people do all of the above and no judgment. Do what makes you motherfucking happy. As
Yes.
long as it's in the legal levels and doesn't send you to prison, by all means, go do it. Or if it's
Well,
gonna send you there, be careful.
depending on where you at, because some places got some weird ass laws. Like I just found out Atlanta, it's illegal for a chicken to cross a road.
Wait, what?
True story. Don't. So I'm one of them people. If I see like you, I'm full of useless facts. In Kentucky, it's illegal to tip a cow. Don't know why, but there's some shit that happens. But in Atlanta, it's illegal for a chicken to cross the road. So if you own a chicken and never cross the road, you get fined. It's weird
So
shit.
the owner gets fined.
Mhm. I mean, you gonna find a chicken?
I mean,
I
but
done had
how does
somebody.
even a chicken make it on the road? I grew up in Africa where we had farms and like all the way in the back of our, they never make it outside to the road. So that will be, and actually I don't think I've seen chickens on anywhere in Atlanta actually. So
In the hood, they just chilling.
I need to go there and kind of like push them onto the road and see, call the popo like, there's a chicken on the road.
I get my nigga fired out here just cooking chickens. But no, it's just be some weird stuff. Like you figure out, like everybody has some weird laws. I just don't know why, but Google them. Like if y'all get bored, like I do sometimes, and I can't sleep, I just Google like weird stuff because my mind
How
is
about
weird.
this? I'm not gonna do that. But I'm just gonna have you once a month to come on Shit Happens and you talk about all the Google stuff, the
So
weird shit.
on my show, I actually legit want to do like a segment where I just talk about like weird laws, like pick a state and just find like five weird ass laws and just discuss, like just break them out.
You should do that. Like that's a whole new podcast. Like, and you don't have to do it weekly. Like in a month, you pick a state or whatever, and just
That's,
go into
that's what I'm
the.
gonna do. I'm gonna call it weird shit in this state. Like, is that legal?
You see, there's no retiring in this shit. Like we're just coming with new ideas for you.
That's my problem. I be like, so I for those who don't know, and we probably gonna perfect segue. I've been telling myself I'm gonna retire like Danny Glover from Lethal Weapon. Every year from podcasting, like I'm getting too old for this shit. I'm just gonna retire, and then something brings me back, or I get bored, and I be like, I love doing this, so I don't retire. So right now I'm really on a month break. Supposed to be from all podcasting, but as you can see, here I am, and I've been doing some other stuff. Just mentally trying to, because it's been a long year. Um, Little backstory: my show took a weird break from like May of last year to like September. I didn't do a show; it wasn't by choice. I was forced into a mini retirement, and it was hard for me to get back. And I really didn't want to come back, but then people was like, "If you quit, we gonna hurt you." Sock full of butters is already on deck. We gonna beat the shit out of you until you get back. So I came back, did some mini game shows, Family Feud. People call me a cheater because I like to have fun, so I made sure some teams got extra points when they wasn't supposed to. Some easy questions, whatever. My show, I do it if I want. If you don't like it, get your own show. And then I went to a Jeopardy tournament, which just ended on the February 28th. It went from October to February, and I did like an all podcaster tournament. Winner won $50 of my money out of my pocket, just because I want to show appreciation for them giving their time and being a part of the mayhem of them coming on. And I had a little imaginary guy named Little Jimmy who I hired to do my Jeopardy board, and some of his questions was fucked up. He was a little illiterate. I found him on a bus stop on a Greyhound in Sarasota, and I was like, you know what? You look like you need a chance to do something with your life, little man. He's like, yes, sir. Yes, I do. He sounded like Basil 40. He was like old English. So I hired him, and I was like, come on, little Jimmy, you gonna do my board? And yeah, little Jimmy was illiterate and he couldn't count. So needless to say, some of my boards was fucked up. Um, Wherever you at, little Jimmy, fuck you, get an education. But yeah, so stuff
Well,
happens.
now you gotta start a sponsorship to send these people you find to do
Yeah,
your work.
it's called the what the shit Kate Reed United Negro College Fund of America. So for 50 cents a day, we're going to send imaginary kids to school so they can do Jeopardy boards for other podcasters because he fucked my shit up. He had questions all wrong. One of the questions was Fat Joe and Cardi B sings a song called Up, and I was like, nah, that don't sound right. That don't something about that just ain't right. But
Wow.
shit happens,
But
you know.
I want to say, you said you ran it from October to February. That's commitment over there. Like,
Yeah, and I made the boards myself. So this was every Wednesday. Well, it wasn't every Wednesday night. There was some breaks in between. But it was every Wednesday in October from the 25th. I think I took 2 weeks off in November. There was a bunch of shows in December. I did shows up until Podfest, and then I took 2 weeks off, and then every week in February. And I did so the semifinals was 3 nights, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, straight. The weekend before the 28th. So that was the 23rd, 24th, and 25th. I did 3 shows each night. Making the board myself, but it's fun because I was dedicated. People want to do it. As long as the people want to do it, I'm crazy enough to do it. So I'm gonna give the people what they want every chance I get because I like to entertain, and it's something people were in the comments, trying to be a part of it. So it was
oh
engaging.
yeah, so,
And it,
I know I've peeped in some of them because I would see it on Instagram Live, which you need to kind of teach me how you get it also on Instagram Live. Do you put the stream key?
yes.
Okay, I need something. I need them to figure it out without doing the stream key because that shit is annoying and very.
Yes, once they started doing IG, for me that was a game changer because I wanted to put stuff on IG. So now the StreetYard has that feature. It's actually not bad. It looks a little choppy and it's a little delayed, but I mean they'll get it together, I guess. But
Yeah,
it
I'm
was
gonna wait for them to get it together because it's not supposed to be that hard. Like, come on. If and the thing is, in my head, I'm like, but Facebook, Twitter, Facebook and Instagram, you're all are together, right? Like, make it make sense. Why is it so easy for me to get it on Facebook? Even the stupid what's his name? Elon Musk made it easier for me to stream
yeah,
to Twitter, and your Instagram are making it like a whole technology lesson.
it's yeah. I don't know what they. I don't trust them, but I appreciate them for letting me use their platform for my platform. So I guess I.
We're gonna be nice in case
Yeah,
because
I'm not gonna take
because they shut us down 2 days ago. They might shut us down right now. Be like, y'all talking shit.
I've said some bad shit about Facebook and Instagram, so I'm pretty sure I wasn't shut down by accident. Y'all might have been just part of me getting shut down. It was like, well, we don't want to just take him out because it looks suspicious, so we just gonna put everybody down for a little bit, teach that nigga a lesson. So I feel you, Mark. I feel you. I call Mark a creepy um
He sees
children of
and
the
hears
corn.
everything.
He looks like one of the children of the corn. Like he sleeps standing up and
Oh my god.
he makes love
Ah,
backwards. Like so is never mind. I'm just
yeah, y'all send me help. I don't know if I'll be able to actually do this entire episode
I don't
without
want to get
my
you
cheeks are
canceled.
already
So
hurting and it's just been 15 minutes in.
I don't
Like,
want to get you canceled because I have theories about Mark Zuckerberg. I think he's a vampire. Um, he just looks like he like shaves with the
you know,
cop.
I get turned on by vampires. So now you're gonna make me start masturbating thinking of him as a vampire.
Oh wow. Okay. Uh,
Because
What?
now when you put the vampire in, now I'm starting to imagine the teeth and like now it's kind of
Well,
looking
no,
a
him
little
got
bit
the
like.
teeth. His teeth is, you know what? Yeah. So yeah. Anywho, no,
Anywho,
I just feel like he's a weird guy, and he just wants to be.
anywho, wait. There's something you said that when you were quickly brushing off into your retirement story, right? You said you took. It was supposed to be a break, then it turned out not to be a break. I hit just a semi-retirement, then and things out of your control. So because most of us are here podcasters and we have all at some point been overwhelmed and thought about quitting and fuck this shit and all that. But if you don't mind sharing a little bit of, okay, I know it just can't be people saying come back, we miss you, that really made you come back. Because I remember also at that time seeing your post, and especially you were still getting love on your podcast on Google Pods even without being
Mhm.
performing and everything. Like right now, I haven't produced any episode on Talk Shit with P since December, but last week I got 255 downloads and people are downloading all them, and I can't wait to actually take all these audios from all the shit happening and I'm just gonna dump in there. Because now I'm really not as much like, because podcast takes a lot of work, the editing, the promoting, the it just be draining. So why what you say that break was kind of forced, so I wanna dive into that. Like, why was it forced? Why were you really thinking about, yo, fuck it, I'm putting out the game, I'm retiring? And then, as you said, people told you to come back and not, but what really was like, you know what, the people want it, but
Um,
that part.
so if we want to get deep with it and really philosophical, sometimes I suffer from, like, I guess, imposter syndrome. I always joke like, oh, I'm just a little nigga from Akron, you know what I'm saying, who just talk shit. I've had some opportunities to be around some dope ass people who are, I feel, on a higher level than me. So sometimes when I'm in those room with those people and they see me as a peer, it feels weird. I didn't start podcasting because I wanted to be famous. I didn't start podcasting because I was like, I need to do this because this is my outlet. Well, not because, so it's sort of my outlet. So the reason I started podcasting was it was during the pandemic. My dad passed away. My guy Chris has a podcast, Blur's Eye View. He needed a co-host as he was starting up. So he see, I was kind of drowning. We was in broadcasting school, and we went from like being in school to being like on a Zoom call with 5,000 people. And I don't learn well that way. My ADHD, either we gonna do this and we focus on the thing, or we got 5,000 people talking and I check out. So I was starting to check out on school. My dad passed away. It was April. He brought me on his show. And then I was like, oh shit, I kind of like this. I can say what I want, do what I want. And it's like the wild, wild west. Like there's no restrictions. It's different from TV and radio. It's its own medium, and I control the property. So I started my show July 2020. Was going good, some ups and downs. But the reason why, so May of last year, um, for those who don't know, there was an event I was trying to put together. Collection of content creators of color. Got a little big. Tried to do too much at once. It fell apart a little bit, so that kind of shook me from podcasting. And then at work, I'm a supervisor for medical transportation. I've been delivering medical equipment for like hospice and insurance for about 8 years now. So I became a supervisor October of 2022. So I lost two drivers, so I was my only driver. So I was working literally 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, plus trying to podcast, plus family life and all that stuff, and I couldn't find balance. Still struggle with it. Still trying to find that balance of making time for everything. But during that time of May to September, and then things falling apart, um, I was like, it's too much. Mentally, it was just I was spent. I felt like I have nothing left to give to the podcasting game. I didn't have any more um inspirational things to do. Not that my show is inspirational by any means or necessary, but you never know when somebody's watching your show. Some of the things you talk about, it resonates with some people who's having a bad day or experience some of the things you experience. So I always tell people you never know who's watching and who it might help. So that's part of the reason I came back because like I said, even when I was gone, I was still getting love, still people still liking the post, still going to listen, and to me that means something because I didn't grow up, I grew up working my whole life. So for some people to recognize what I'm doing in this space that I probably don't belong in, at least in the beginning, I didn't feel like it. Now I can hold my own with anybody, and I feel like I've become better because a lot of sleepless nights of studying and tweaking and failing upwards, I guess. So that's part of the reason I came back because I enjoy what I do. I enjoy talking shit, of course, being one thing. But I enjoy sometimes, I can be it can be educational on my show. So we do talk about mental health and those kind of things. So I just felt like my lane that I was in, it was kind of missed, because too many I've seen so many podcasts that talk about real life situations, and that's cool. And they talk about all the pop culture things that are going on. I hit on some of those things, but I do it in a funny way to make people, feel better about it. So my contribution to the podcast community is comedy and mayhem.
I love that. And I remember that event. I wasn't able to come, but I learned a lot from watching you do that event, and I learned a lot about Black communities. Like, I don't want to get canceled about saying some shit over here. Not that I care about being canceled, but I felt your pain because I saw your post at that time. That's when me and you, like, because I had just met you right around that time as you were putting up that event, and
Yeah,
and,
we had
and I,
the March of the Record book in January that you were a part of. We just did another one this year. I
yeah.
plan on doing it again.
Which we're
But
gonna talk about that. But it was like when I saw that, I really related because I remember it's so easy when you're in this industry, right? Especially when you're self-taught, right? Most of us did start in 2020 during the pandemic. We literally were learning as we are going. So
mm,
you feel sometimes it's hard to feel the appreciation, right? Like, where is this hard work even worth it? Are people really even enjoying this? Are people loving it? I remember also, at one point I wanted to retire as well, and I took a break. And the thing about taking a break, right? I always take 2 months break. 1 month is for me to not do anything podcasting, and 1 month because I used to pre-record all my 15 episodes so that when I come back, I am just promoting and releasing. I don't have to worry about setting interviews and stuff. I already have a backlog. But I was draining coming back, and I remember this it ended up being 3 months instead of 2 months until I got a review from a completely stranger from Austria who literally found my podcast and
like,
decided to even leave a review because even us motherfuckers who are in the same space, we don't leave each other reviews. So this person to find my podcast, to resonate and leave me a review and tell me how much this conversation was useful because her and the partner were just talking about these 2 days, and when they found my podcast about this subject, they really it helped them dive even deeper. That was like the wake up call, like, yo, there are people out here who really want to hear what you have to say, who want to be around that. So you gotta keep doing it.
that's inspirational. But we talking about like Arnold Schwarzenegger, Austria, like
No,
or Australia, because there's two different places. But I just want to make sure because my geography again, I went to school. Me looking at maps, I get confused as fuck. I see one A and I'm definitely wrong.
Australia.
Okay, Australia. So I'm gonna say Austria is it's a different place, I didn't,
No, Australia, not
okay,
Australia.
Australia. Okay, got you, got you. Okay,
But
glad
it's
to
funny
hear that.
that but it's funny that you said you didn't feel like you belong or anything, cause that's not what I got from you at Podfest. Like, you literally, for a person who was his first time at Podfest, you literally ran that shit. Like,
Oh, so I have this ability that if I get in a room where the energy is fire, I I take off. I'm one of them people who like, you know how entertainers say if the crowd is dead, I can't get up. That was a bad choice of words. Okay, so if the energy if the energy's not right, so if the energy's right, um, I feel this synergy. So if it's a place where a lot of dope people are doing crazy things, my energy level is up, and it's hard to for me to not keep going. So that's the other thing about it. The energy that I get from doing this and talking to dope people. Yeah, pause. My bad. Okay. I knew Rob was gonna say something. As soon as I see him pop in the comments, he was, "What's up, my nigga?" So
Oh!
because he's come a long way too. God damn it,
And
he
we
is
were
better.
literally just talking about him a few minutes ago.
You speak him up. You gotta stop speaking him up. He's like, as soon as the devil, you speak him up. Here he comes. But no, Podfest, the energy was so amazing. And at that time, I was in a different headspace. Also, I had been back for a while. Um, I feel comfortable with what I'm doing. And as soon as the light comes on, I'm always ready to go. Like so, it's like when you hit the basketball court, and as soon as your feet touch the court, you turn it on, like you ready to play. So that's how I've always looked at it. I don't care what's going on in life, when that red light turns on and it's time for me to do a show, I don't care whose show it is, I'm going to give it my best. And I'm going to give the energy that I need to give for it to be the best it can be. So Podfest was just like the Oscars for me. It was like another level of energy and entertainment. It was dope being around a bunch of people who were like minded. Wasn't nobody really doing no Hollywood stuff where they was like, I don't want to talk to you. So it was just the energy was amazing. And we learned so much and had so many deep conversations and made so many connections that it was perfect. It was what we needed to have happen for us to see that we can really do this. Because I mean, Raw had a conversation, where he felt like he was just kind of middling. He wasn't really a podcaster. So, and I've been doing this for 3 years, going on 4. I don't know how long he's been doing it, but we both woke up, we both realized like, damn, we was in a space with people and held our own with, some people who probably have way more downloads, way more listeners, way more resources. I mean, yeah. So I talked him into going. He didn't even know nothing about it. I just told him like, hey man, I was going. He's like, who you going with? Nigga, I'm going by myself if I have to. I don't care. I'm getting down there because I gotta experience this and see what it's like. And then he jumped on and we
Love
the
that you
rest is
went because I remember when they were doing pod tours, I was trying so much to make sure you go to
yeah,
the Ohio the meetup. You were
yeah.
like, "There's no date." I was like, "As soon as I find the date, I'ma send you. I sent you the date. I sent you
I,
the link."
I took
And
off
when
work for that. I canceled everything. I was like, I'm going
I
because
saw
I
you in the
heard
picture, I was like, "I am glad you went," because
he's not a
there. Go ahead.
so my issue is I I sometimes I don't be social. And when I say that, I mean there might be an event, but it's not close to me, so I won't go. And here in Ohio, there's not too many podcasting events that, really uh, give information or showcase. There's stuff out in Philly and Baltimore, of course, Podfest in Orlando, but there's nothing really here. And then I don't really ask people like I probably should, like, hey, what's going on? Or, I kind of network with my little bubble and I try to branch out because I don't like to get too long into the same people because then it feels like you're recycling people and I want to be able to branch out. So being able to go to that and make new connections and it actually was a confidence builder also. Because like I said, it showed me that, even doing the owl interview, holding my own there, doing the black hallway, that really showed me like there's people who, like I said, been doing this probably longer and probably better, but I stood toe to toe with him and I held my own and I didn't, look goofy at the end. Well, my normal goofy I looked, but I didn't look like a super sucker. So
But
there's that.
that's the thing. And even with the portal, like you never ask me. I'm just the person who, when I see a city and I know somebody lives there, I remember I was just tagging you. Like when I saw, I was just tagging you, and then because I feel like especially with Podfest, I know how inclusive it is, and I know how us, how Black people, we keep on saying we are excluded, and how we keep talking about inclusivity. And there's these spaces that are very inclusive, but I think also in our mind, because we've already put it like it's a white space. It's that, so we tend to fear to be part of it, but not knowing that. And that's why I always
Yeah.
try like once you come to Podfest, you'll understand the energy, and it's just gonna
Oh,
click for yourself.
it's
And
definitely on my to-do list each year. We definitely going back next year. And I guarantee you, if they thought I was fucked, if they thought, and actually, I was subdued my first podcast. I was like, let me see the land. I'm one of the people. I walk in the room and I people watch. I'm a people watcher. I like sociology. I like psychology. I like to see people in their element and how they act. Who and just kind of read people and see what's going on. So I was people watching most of that time. But by
oh
day
yeah, because I
three,
would always find you guys like in the back in the corner, and I'll be like,
yeah,
yeah, come on here.
yeah,
But
'cause, we the people that we in the cut. We making sure if shit pop off, we know where all the exits at. We know what's going on. Yeah, yeah. Like next year for sure. Next year
he said I'm trying to walk around the room and get free beers like Paul.
we get like 25 free beers. We was like, God damn.
Listen, gotta network with the right people in first place. That's why whenever I met you, I was like, you gotta know everybody, but I'm also gonna tell you that the exclusive people you really need to know for the very fun shit, and then the other people mingle with yourself. So and that's why I always hang out at the Mopod booth. Like people sometimes even think I work for Mopod because every Podfest I'm at their booth 24/7. I'm on the out booth, like there's specific booths that I'm always at, and then I'm also everywhere.
I see, because they got the free beer. Next time I know where I'm hanging out for a while. Because they was
And
cool to do
Podfest,
that.
and with me with Podfest, I can go over there with even $50 in my pocket and not use a single cent of Podfest. Like,
Like, we get free drinks and karaoke. I was like, damn, she in there. She like a mafia boss.
you remember the next day, I was like, the first thing I saw you, where's my bracelet? Like, get me back my
Yeah.
free shit.
Hey, that bracelet came in handy. We was drinking all night long. I did. So we drank so much. I did karaoke.
And that's what I like because I was leaving. I was like, why live with the bracelet when my people are here? And so I was like, yo, hang on to this, and but that's the thing. At Podfest, what I love is when you're at home, right? You feel like you really don't know your shit, or maybe you're still new, and then you go to Podfest where you are meeting people who are even way above you, who have been doing all this, and you talk to them and they're validating you like, oh my god, you're doing this, even me from this year, even, oh, show me how you do that. And it really shows like, yo, I'm actually doing the damn thing. Like they might be in this space longer, they might have been, but I also have things to offer. So I'm hoping you all are
Yeah, that
applying to
bracelet.
be speakers next year.
They don't want to hear from me yet. I'm gonna give them one more year before I go be a speaker.
But okay, but you guys for sure are coming next year because today I was on a live with Chris and I've been put in charge of organizing and taking care of second timers. So everybody who came to Podfest this year, I'm gonna be doing some amazing fun shit for second timers next year, and they put me in charge. So it's gonna be wild and fun. So
Already there. Already there.
definitely thinking about being a speaker, but I don't know yet. Well, the deadline to apply is March 31st, so you still have a few days, and just apply. Put your game in there, like, and it
Something.
doesn't have to be the whole 30 minutes. It can be the picture kucha, which is 5 minutes. It can be the case study, which is it 15 minutes. So I feel like both of you have something to offer, but also I don't want to force you because when you're speaking, you have to be personally ready for that and
Yeah,
to do your
I
your
ain't ready
own
for
thing.
that walk of life yet. He's still working on me. So I got some things I need to fix before I get up there in front of a corporate setting.
And
I want to make sure my
and
words are measured because I know me. If I get up there and just start talking, yeah.
I feel you. And now, because when we talk about Podfest, we can talk all night. Like there was a lot going on at Podfest. I love that community, but I'm glad that you guys came. and I'm glad that I want to see more of us at Podfest because we are welcome, we are included, we are. I tell people, whatever type of weird you are, Podfest welcomes you. Like you can be weird,
Yeah,
you can be introvert, you can be extrovert, you can be a sexaholic, you can like whatever you are,
I got
you will
spanked by an
find your
old
people.
lady.
Huh?
I got spanked by an old lady. I forgot about that. The old lady spanked me. It was a different, and she was a mountain lion. She was like a great bush mountain lion. She was like an elder statesman mountain lion. She'd been around the block a few times. She was in the first orgy ever. But anywho, it was
And
a,
that's the thing about podcasts. You have even these sex weird conversations with people who are in their 70s and you're just like there
yeah.
is so much education, there's so much fun, there's so much wow moments, there's so much what the fuck moments, there's a
It was
bunch of
definitely
everything. You turn up and educate yourself at the same time, and it didn't matter who the person was, the orgies, the normal people, like whatever your age was, people were just blending in.
yeah, it was a fun thing though. But I'm definitely looking to go back. It definitely, but like I said, it was a good learning experience. It was definitely something that was needed to get out of just feeling local. Because like I know most podcasters look at their numbers, but then you see like places like India or Ireland or Australia or Austria. You see these places, you have listens there. It's humbling. You know, um, I tell people like I'm one of the few people I know that's on Pandora, and I don't do music. You know what I
I'm
mean? My
also on Pandora, and
so
I've never even checked my podcast in Pandora. Like,
I do because I like to share from it, but it's a dope feeling. Like I said, being from where I'm from, and it's small, it's home. But it's just like I didn't think I would ever be, doing some of the things I've done or doing or meet some of the people I've met or, just being heard, not only just locally, but like kind of internationally. So like I said, it's a humbling experience, but it feels good to feel like, okay, I'm not just being heard in my city, I'm being heard here and overseas and all these different places. And then I meet some of these people and they say they heard me and it was like, damn, that's a dope feeling.
it
So
really is.
humbling.
I remember my first podcast, which was in 2022, and I walk into the expo hall, and I'm introducing myself to this booth, and the next guy had me, and he walked over and was like, "You're talk shit with P?" And I was like, yeah. And it's like, "Oh my god, I've been waiting to meet you, like I love you." And I was like, wait, just that thing, like,
That's a weird
wait,
feeling.
you know me? Like, and somebody calling you by your podcast name, right? Not even your name, like, "You talk shit with me." I'm like, wow, this is like, and
It's a
and
weird feeling.
yeah, it really is.
And
But before we go ahead.
it takes getting used to. And I don't know if I'm used to it yet, like fully like grasping the concept, like people, So it's a good thing, but it's also kind of humbling, but it's also nerve wracking because now it's like, okay, I'm out here now. So I can't really stop.
For real, for real. But let's divert. So, I met you when you were when you were doing the march to the record book. Let's talk a little bit about that. Where did the concept come from? Why did you want to do that? How is it going? And
Why? Why not? I mean, it was something to do. The idea was brought to me by the CEO of Opulence Radio, which me Raw, a bunch of people are part of. It's an internet radio station, dope content, exclusive content. So it's not like you're getting, rebranded shows. It's a lot of fresh shows that are made just for the station. So she came to me with the idea. At first, I thought she was joking. She was like, "Hey, what do you think about breaking a record for the longest podcast live stream?" I'm like, "Hey, I'm one of the people. You want to do something crazy? Let's get crazy. Why not? Somebody got to do it. Why can't it be us?" So the first year, 2022, 22. Was that 22?
2022.
2022.
I believe it was January, right? Was
Yep,
it
we do it
January?
Martin Luther King weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So the first year we started at 6 on Saturday night, and we podcasted all the way until 6 on Monday night. It's about whatever how many hours that is of straight live streaming, day and night. This year we went from 6 to 8 this year. Next year I'm trying to get to do 65 hours because I'm one of them people. If we gonna do it, we might as well do it big. So I'm trying to make sure we smash the record so can't nobody get it. But it's just it's something fun. It's also like a little mini sleepover. You have people up and down, in and out all night, all day, popping in, going to sleep, taking shifts. It's just a bunch of people with one common goal to make this live stream entertaining, one, but also break a record. So it was an opportunity for us to get a bunch of podcasters together and have an excuse for us to just talk shit and do whatever we want for 48 to 50 hours. It's dope. Um, And but it's also a chance for podcasters to be seen because when you tell them, "Hey, I'm going for this record," people tune in. And people love to see people fail. That's the one funny thing about the world we live in. So people want to see if you're gonna fail to do this record or not. So it gets fun, it gets crazy. People are involved in the comments. People got it up on their TV. They might jump out the stream and watch it for a little bit while they take a nap, and then they hop back on. But it was just a great experiment in the willpower of people wanting to do one common thing and working together and trying to make sure that we, elevate each other. Um, and just have fun. That's really what it was about, just having fun, bringing a bunch of different podcasts together, let them get a chance to do their show on there or be a part of the stream and showcase themselves. We had a lot of people who've never done a live stream before. The first
Mm-hmm.
year, a lot of people who just did audio, never did a live stream, never been on a live stream, none of that. So and there was a lot of opportunities for people to collaborate afterwards and network, and so it's fun. Want to do it every year. Try to do it in person sometimes if we can, but it's really just an opportunity to not only showcase Opulence Radio and some of the dope talent that they have, but also break a record. And also just for me, it was a chance to talk shit. As I was on there as much as I can, as long as I could be talking shit and stirring the pot as much as I could, because that's what it's all
That's
about.
what you do, and that's what you do. I love that, and I really enjoyed it. I remember when I was booking because I also still had to work because I work retail, and I was like, fuck, I have to wake up at 6 a.m. to do this shit because I had gotten the 6 a.m. slot. But the energy, the vibe, like I was like, I don't want to
Yeah,
go to work. I want to kind of keep on hanging over here. And I
that's
met a lot of new people who I don't think our paths would have crossed if I wasn't on that. Maybe it would have, but it would have taken longer. But being a part of that was really fun, and because most of the people in there kind of already knew each other because you guys kind of have your community. And me, I was a little bit nervous, like, oh my god, I don't know any of these people because I haven't been in their community or whatever. But I was like, but fuck it, this is how you be a part of something and meet people. But literally from it was just like we all knew each other. And because I like going into things with a positive mindset, because I believe if you go with a negative mindset, you're going to get that negativity because you've already put it in your head, like, I'm coming in
mm,
with this. So every little thing you're going to take it as an. I went in there like it was fucking 6 a.m., but we were not acting like it was 6 a.m. Like we were.
it. So we this year didn't live up to it. Me and Raw talked about it, but there was a section called the March After Dark. So there was one point the first year from like 11 to like these motherfuckers was going to like 8 a.m. It was spicy. It
Oh,
was
yes.
yeah, I
Oh,
was saying
yes.
some of the conversations was, but it was fun. We
Because
could do
I
all
was a
that.
part of that spiciness. I was like, we were talking about, I was like, we were just, I was like,
You
these
wake
are
up
my
at 6
people,
a.m.
y'all.
and you hear like sandpaper dildos, you perk up a little bit. It's like, whoa, wait a minute. What did I walk into? Um, but it was fun. And that's the beauty of it. Like there was no script, there was no no direction. It was just turn on the camera and go for it. You know what I mean? There was no
Yeah.
like we didn't say like, oh, you have to talk about this. You can talk about whatever you want within reason. Now, there were some things there's some subjects where you just don't touch. But at the end of the day, there's really nothing that um, we're not about to have you out here talking about all kind of. If you wouldn't talk about it in your own show, why we wouldn't go let you talk about it there? That's the thing.
Which makes
Uh,
sense, yes. Especially when you have a group, right? And certain things go 0 to 100 real quick, and we're not trying to have that drama. I was sad I missed it this year. Again, life and mental health, because sometimes you just need to check out from shit. But I'm excited about next year. I'm definitely participating, and whatever help you need, please reach out. We are here to help and support each other.
mhm.
So however I can help, however I can be a part of it to make it even reach wherever you're trying to make it reach, I would love to do that because I have seen how much. I'm a person who I like to watch first before I offer helping, because sometimes you offer people to help, but then you don't see them pushing for the cause that you are trying to push with
Yeah,
them as hard, right? So sometimes you need
yeah,
to kind of sit back and see, like, do they really love this? Do they really want to grow it? And I've seen you for 2 years really put in the grind and work, and I'm like, okay, he really has this passion for this, so why not, right?
yeah. I mean, like I like I said, my contribution to podcasting is not just talking shit because I mean anybody can do that. No matter how good or bad you are at it, I want to make sure that one, people are being seen or feel seen. Like you said in the beginning, I share a lot of people's stuff on my pages. Not because I have to. And I hate when people are like, oh, why are you sharing? Why you ain't sharing my stuff? I hate that. I share what I want or what I feel needs to be seen. Like if it's somebody who has 1 million followers, I'm not really sharing your shit. You have 1 million followers. I'm doing it for the people who have dope stuff but just don't have a voice or their voice isn't being heard properly. So if I can do something to help them be heard or be seen, even just for a little bit, that's what I want to do. And part of this
Right.
is um, I enjoy doing it. Like I said, I enjoy um, sharing people's work because I feel like, dope people need to be seen no matter what. Um, so I'm passionate about it because I know how it feels to start and not have a voice or not be taken seriously. Funny story. So when I started, my whole first season, I had a chip on my shoulder because I felt like there was when I said I was going to start my own podcast, so people looked and was like, "You starting a podcast? That ain't gonna last. You don't take shit seriously, and you always talking shit." So I would at the end of my show, I would shout out one specific person in different ways I could. I did it in Spanish one time, um, you know, just because I felt like that person, I thought they would believe in me and they didn't. And it was manufactured, I guess. Sometimes you manufacture those gripes with people so it makes you, try to work harder. But I feel like, people need to be heard sometimes, so it's just making sure that those people are being seen, have a voice. So that's why I'm always trying to share as much as I can. If it comes across 9 times out of 10, if it comes across, my timeline and I really fuck with you, I'm gonna share it regardless. You ain't even gotta ask me. Because it's unnecessary. I don't ask nobody to be thanked. I don't ask you to share some of my shit just to try to even tip the balance of the scales or nothing like that. It's unnecessary because I know as much work as I put in the position I'm in and some of the people I'm around, um, my work shows for itself. So I don't, need it, but I appreciate it just the same because I'm never going to turn it down. But I got things in the works, so I just want to make sure when I'm moving with people who are like minded. Like you said, I don't want to work with people who, show up late, do a half ass job and then want all the credit. Like to me, that's just that's not a recipe for success. Even like when we was doing this, I was like, "Hey, so you want me to show up? Because I'm used to showing up. If I got to show at 8, I'm there at 7:30."
When you said before, I was like, what do you mean?
I I used to coach football, so I believe on being on time, showing up early, putting in the work,
I
and
love that.
being one of the last ones to leave. So even after a show, there's a lot of times me and Raw we'll do a show and we'll sit up there and we'll talk afterwards after the show's over. I do that with a lot of people. We'll just talk about podcasts and whatever, because the energy is still going and you still want to, you know, or
Hmm.
I'll get off and I'll go look at some stuff or plan something or make a flyer or something like that. I'm constantly behind the scenes working. I don't tell people how hard I'm working because it doesn't matter because everybody's working. So me telling people like, oh yeah, I'm up 8 hours a day doing this, till 3, 4 in the morning. No one cares. It
Hmm.
doesn't matter because there's always someone outworking you. You might go to bed at 3, somebody's going to bed at 4. So
Sure.
just shut up and keep going. So that's why I don't
And
really, talk about what I do, but I do try to help people as much as I can. When I can, giving guidance. I've done some mentoring, help produce some people's podcasts. I don't really talk about it because it's just I don't feel I need to. You know what I mean?
so true. And I think that's what one thing we have in common, because me and you have shared each other's stuff without even asking each other anything. From when after I met you guys and started the match, if I see your shit, I share, you share my. But I'm also that person who, when I share it, I don't tag that person, because to me, it's not about. I don't want you to care or to know I shared. I'm sharing because I
Yeah,
just want to share your shit, right? So I never tag unless it's
I
specific
don't.
thing that I'm writing for it. Then I
I
will
don't.
tag you, and
I
that's
don't
why
tell
sometimes I
people.
also miss people sharing my shit because they don't tag me, but I don't care. Sometimes I just come. I remember a few times I'll just come on your, I'll watch your stories and I'll be like, oh my God, that's me. That's my shit.
Yeah, I don't
And
tag people for the same reason because I feel like when you
there's a
tag me,
different,
sometimes
yeah. It's
it's like,
like you're
look
showing them, like,
at me,
look,
I'm
I shared
sharing.
your shit.
Hey, I'm sharing, buddy. I don't really
Like,
like I
clap
said,
for me.
I don't really read all that. Like I said, I do it because I care and because I want to. Whether think
Amen.
it's dope or not, if I see it, like I said, I'm gonna share it.
I
And I try
believe
to
that's
share it
the
like I
biggest.
can,
And I
but
believe that's the biggest form of support, because sometimes people don't have the money to buy your book or your product, or
some people can't read.
yeah, or come to your event, all those things. So it's like, and even if you're
You
you're
go speed
funny.
over the place and people can't read. Literacy is a troubling thing. I know some grown folks that can't read Facebook. They get on Facebook and have to sound it out. You ever seen a grown man at 5 a.m. try to sound out a post his girlfriend wrote? It's troubling. Um,
But it's not true. But
grown man, 1, 2, 3, I want to side my boyfriend Henry. Sad shit. Illiteracy is a bad problem. 2024 people, and you can't read. Mm. But anywho, I'm sorry you were going on a spiel there. And I interrupted you with illiterate people.
no, I was just saying, because sometimes even that shit is not for you, but I believe it's for, there's somebody in my following who's not in your following that might appreciate that. So that's why I constantly share. And we are almost coming to an end, but I want to read this what Rose said. Podfest and the March are weeks apart. Next year, we're starting the year of life. And I like that because this year, we literally came from Pod Talks, and then in 2 days we were at Podfest. So, like, the Pod Talks always also has a lot of pod. So it was like, oh my God, we started the hype over there. So next year, starting the hype from there, and then we're all gonna be together again in 2 days. And the first night is always drinks with the Moped boys, then the next night karaoke. Like, so I'm just like, I just get excited. So I'm looking forward to that. But as we are coming to an end of this, I want you to let the people know, to let the people know where they can find your podcast, how they can keep in touch with you. And if you have anything exciting that you want people to be a part of that's coming out, or anything you want to share with the people that you're working on, this is the time for you to do that shit.
If you want to find me, please don't. I have enough people trying to stalk me down and ask me for stuff like money or something like that. I don't know what to tell y'all people. I'm a broke ass podcaster. Just because I gave a motherfucker $50 for Jeopardy, I ain't got it like that. Stop calling me. I got motherfuckers like, oh man, I see you international. let me hold some money. I ain't got shit.
That's why he gets people to do scoreboards who don't even know how to read and write.
That's why I got alert motherfuckers working for me. I can't afford to pay niggas who can read. That costs more money. Reading motherfuckers costs extra.
But you're telling people to go learn how to read. You're gonna run out of people to help you.
But then the world will be a better place because I ain't got a grown man at 6 a.m. at a coffee table trying to read a text message out loud. Sound like it's Dr. Seuss. But anywho, I digress. You can find me pretty much everywhere. What the Shit Podcast is on all streaming platforms: Pandora, iHeart, iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Music, everywhere. You can catch the show coming back in April with season 10 premiering April 3rd. It's gonna be y'all should tune in to the first one. I think y'all gonna really. I got a plan in my head, and it's formulating. So season 10 premiere is starting. I got a new co-host. I'm not gonna name it yet. We got a blast from the past, so y'all gonna want to see that too. And I'm actually booked all the way up until June right now. I think the first week of June. I have a guest every week. I got an NFL mock draft that I do every year. So I'm pretty much working while I'm not supposed to be working. I'm supposed to be taking the month of March off.
So much for retirement.
Yeah, I'm still gonna retire one of these days.
You're gonna be like Dominic. I don't know if you know Dominic Larson, Black is America. Every season he ends his podcast. He's like, next season is gonna be the finale. I'm done, and it's never done.
You're never done. I mean, like I said, I enjoy it too much, and I have too much fun doing it. But yeah, you can pretty much find me everywhere. Instagram.
Okay. One last thing. In 2 minutes, can you tell people about Black Legacy Productions in 2 minutes?
Yeah, so it was started because I wanted a tax write-off, and then it ended up being something that I used. Seriously, I was trying to white people do it all the time. But anywho, it's just a company that was started to, help further podcast or, film or whatever. I don't really use it as much as I like, as far as I don't use it to get paid, I really rarely tell people I even have a production company, just because I don't want to do work for people. But no,
like it's there, but it's there, it's not there, it's there.
Yeah, it's like it's a shell company. It exists only in people's minds. Wow. No, but I mean, it was
follow the trail. Follow the trail. That's where the money comes from.
I just put some stuff here, put some stuff there, but it's something I use. It was created by me and two other people. But now it's just kind of me. But I use it. I'm actually in the works of changing the name of it, but I might keep it. I still like it. Like I said, I rarely use it because I forget that I have it sometimes when I do help people with like their podcast production and all that, and then I don't charge people, so it's like there's no point in like, hey, I got a production company, and then it's just like me and my grandma's basement.
Tax season is coming, and you just came from Podfest. That's a business trip.
Oh, I already did that. Oh, I did all that. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's already been written. Yeah, that's already so done. They don't even know it. But yeah, I mean, it's like I said, it's something that was started. I rarely use it. I don't really even, like I said, I don't tell people about it just because, like I said, it doesn't really, in the grand scheme of things, change anything as far as what I do. It's just another outlet. If I want, when I'm ready to branch out to do more, it's already there.
All right. Don't tell a podcaster 2 minutes because this man has been rambling for 4 minutes.
Hey, you got to let the jukebox play.
And with that said, because I'm trying to keep this in 1 hour so that I can go on Instagram. But we are definitely going to have DC back. Thank you for hanging out with us. Thank you to Ro and Warren for being on the comments. For all who are watching live, I appreciate you. For all who are going to watch replay, have fun with it. And tell DC to motherfucking come back. And Ro, get your eyes on Shit Happens as well while we are at it. And with that, I'm going to end this right now before it gets to 1.